Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, a warm welcome to all of you, and thank you so much for taking out your time and coming here to spend this small evening with all of us. And special thanks to Vishwesh and Priyanka Mataji for arranging this program, organizing this program. And special thanks to Umesh Chandra Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji for coming all the way to grace this occasion. So I asked Mataji, what should be the talk based on? So she's given me a topic. Why should we accept spirituality in today's times? So this is the topic that I'm going to speak on. Just mentioning a few thoughts. So since I gave her that right to decide the topic, so I'll ask a few questions to all of you, so that we have a participative talk here.
Just 1 second.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just ask a few simple questions. Can you tell me which is the best train in the world?
Bullet train.
Okay. Which is the best car in the world? Somebody else? Yes.
Tesla.
What is that?
Tesla.
Tesla. Okay. So why is this train the best train?
Because it has a very good speed,
Okay.
and we know that we'll reach on time wherever we are going.
Okay. And why is Tesla the best car?
It's more sustainable.
More sustainable. So it's very interesting, when we are asking about two modes of transport, somebody is focusing on the speed. Fast train, fast speed, yeah. And she has a very different perspective but is it sustainable? So she's looking at from an environmental perspective, sustainable perspective. Now, incidentally, the cab that I used to come here, I noticed on the side door there was a small sticker there. Note, this car has been, I think there was some, there is a break or there is a point that 80 kilometers per hour, this car won't speed up beyond that. So now why would, if speed is everything, if fast speed, that's what determines a good train, why would on that taxi they put that limiter, speed limiter?
Because the car runs on the road, which is not always stable.
Yeah.
But the train runs on a track,
Yeah.
which has a very clear way to go.
Yes. So, although in modern times, we have begun to associate speed with advancement, but it seems in certain areas, speed may not be the only criteria. Right? In fact, for a road, it signifies just the opposite. It signifies danger, probable. So there are speed limiters on taxis. Of course, private cars, and it's your own journey, so then you don't have a limiter there. But all these cabs, all these Ola, Uber cabs, they all have a speed limiter of 80 kilometers. Right? So from that perspective, we can understand speed is not always the benchmark. What about fast food? Fast trains are the best trains. Bullet train is the best train. What about fast food?
They are the worst.
Yeah. So all of us, we understand that somewhere there's a lot of risks involved in fast food. Okay. What about fast relationships? Yeah. Instagram relationships, online dating relationships, Facebook relationships. Not good, right? What about fast music? So sometimes there is a rap songs. Yeah. I don't know why. People seem to have a taste for rap songs, but it's difficult for me to make any sense out of it. Yeah. So fast trains are considered advanced. Sometimes fast cars are also considered advanced, but fast food is not advanced. Fast music is not advanced. Fast relationships are also not advanced. Okay, something else. What about fast courier service?
Very good.
They are the best.
Good, yeah. You want something, a letter to be delivered ASAP. What about fast internet?
Very nice.
Yeah. Fast computing.
Very good.
So fast in and of itself is not a bad concept. There's nothing wrong with the word fast. It depends on what we are associating with the fast word. So food is something internal. Food is something that you take inside. Relationships is also something of the heart, inside. And music is also something which you appreciate from the heart, so inside. And computing is outside. Courier service is outside. Bullet trains are outside, definitely. So we can have a rough understanding that as long as there is something about our inside, we would rather be safe. Better not to be on the fast track. And as long as we are talking about things outside, computers outside, internet outside, courier service outside, yeah, fast is attractive. Now, we'll talk about one incident that happened. Two friends, they were in school together and they came probably after 20-25 years later, they're coming together. And one of the friends is speaking to another friend. He says, we are meeting after such a long time. Let's spend some time together. Let's go for a swim. And the other friend says, actually, whenever I enter water, I catch a cold. So, not possible. He says, don't worry. Let's go for a drive. I got a new car. He says, actually, whenever I go for a car, I get stiffness in my legs. I said, don't worry. Let's go for a meal together. Let's go to a restaurant together. He says, actually, whenever I eat outside food, I get hyperacidity. Don't worry. Let's go for a mountaineering trek. He says, actually, my knees are paining a lot. He says, don't worry. Let's go to a temple. He said, I am afraid of crowds. Okay, let's go for a movie. He said, actually, in darkness, I really feel scared. Yeah. Now, this continues maybe for 1 or 2 times more. So what is happening here? Can anybody tell me what is essentially happening here? He's making some proposals and the other person is saying not possible and he has valid reasons.
Avoiding. Yes.
Okay, possible. But I mentioned there are good friends meeting after 20-25 years. Generally, you don't want to avoid meeting for the first time at least after a long time. So what could be happening here? Yes.
He must be happy staying alone, not together with people.
Okay. So, they are looking forward to meeting each other and they have come together. So, it means there is some emotional bonding with each other. But what is happening here is, actually, this person, is he really interested in a swim? The person who's making a proposal, he said, can we go for a swim? He said, no. Can we go for a drive? No. Can we go for a restaurant? No. Can we go for a temple? No. Can we go for a trek? No.
So maybe the other person is actually the one who is saying that reasons, giving reasons. And he maybe wants to speak to the friend instead of getting engaged in some activity.
Possible. Yeah. One way of looking at it is, actually, this person wants to make a bonding with the other person. So he is coming up with some ideas that these two can spend some quality time together doing something. If you say somebody, can we sit on this sofa and have a 2-hour talk? Anybody? How many people are going to be ready for it? I want to talk to you for 2 hours. But if you say, chalo, just घूम के आते हैं, Borivali तक जाके आते हैं. So sitting in a car, you talk, right? So actually the first person was making a proposal to spend quality time with the other person. And then what happened?
He got the answer no for everything.
So the first person is trying to make a proposal and the second person is just not able to understand what's happening. The language that he was speaking was, he was trying to reach out. He was trying to reach out to the person. Would you like to spend some time together? Can we go together? And the other person did not hear that language. Actually, what he heard was just the places. He just heard he's talking about a movie theater, not interested. He's talking about a swimming pool, not interested. Talking about a restaurant, not interested. So instead of decoding the feelings that were there in those proposals, actually क्या बोल रहा था? क्या हम थोड़ा समय साथ में बिता सकते हैं? These were the words that were there in the heart, but what was coming out was, can we go to this place? Can we go to this place? Can we go to this place? So actually, when you're traveling fast, so we're talking about fast speed. Sometimes when you're traveling fast, the road and the things and the restaurants and the trees on the side, we can't see them properly. And if you're traveling from here to, let's say, Pune on the expressway, you're going fast and you're hungry or you want to take some water, you're looking for a restaurant, right? But if the speed is too much, by the time you see it, your car has gone ahead, and then obviously you can't go back. So then you say, "Chalo agla." और वो अगला होता ही नहीं है. So many times it has happened that finally we reach a destination only. Right? So when the speed is too fast, we miss out on many good things that happen in our life. So this person was making a proposal. Can we go to the movie theater? Can we go for a swim? Can we go for a trek? Can we go to the temple? But that other person's speed was so fast. He wanted to give quick replies. He wanted to give fast replies. And when you are short of time, when you are making fast replies, usually that reply will be a thoughtless reply. If you really want to think and give a reply, actually you need a very precious commodity with you. And that precious commodity is called time. And people in today's times, all of us, have arranged our lives in such a complicated way that we do not have time to think about simple things in life. We have very nice amount of time for thinking about complicated things of life. So that's why food, traveling, relationships, actually speed is a hazard. And this is the sad part of our life, that we have fast cars, but we have fast replies also. Somebody asks us something and that person is actually making an emotional connect, trying to make an emotional connect, but because we are short of time, we give fast answers. So this is especially a challenge for those who are successful in their careers. The more successful you are in the career, more successful people around you in your office, in your profession, they respect you as an expert. You already start assuming that you're an expert in everything. And because you're an expert in everything, if somebody around you asks you a question, many times that person is not seeking an answer. Actually, that person is seeking a time to talk to you. Right? So, we are so much in that question and answer mode. If somebody says, "Pani chahiye kya?" Actually, it's not a question. It's just "Pani lijiye" karke. And you also, even if you're not thirsty, you say, "Yeah, little." Right? It's more of a connecting to the other person rather than seeing it in a question and answer format. So, in our lives, should we have intelligence? We should. Definitely. And should we have emotions? Definitely. In a relationship, what usually happens is, if we use too much of our intelligence, more than necessary, we end up speaking words just for the sake of it. We are just speaking superficial words. Usme there are no emotions there. And if we become too emotional in our relationships, then we are just on a sentimental platform. Actually, we are not even thinking what we are speaking. It's just emotional outburst. And if you really want to improve on relationships, then these two are important. Intelligence is also important and emotions are also important. How will intelligence play a good role in maintaining good relationships? To actually think over, am I speaking the right words with the right intention? This is an intelligence activity. It's not an emotional activity. So to speak the right words at the right time to somebody whom you care for is actually the function of intelligence. And if we don't use that intelligence, then what usually we do is we just speak something. And I said, "Jawab to de diya maine," but that jawab may be a very hurting jawab. The jawab is maybe a very piercing jawab. So technically, I gave my answer. It didn't serve the purpose many times. So that's why intelligence can be used in a relationship. We feel relationships are about the heart. So what is the role of intelligence in relationships? ये तो फिर दिल का मामला, right? It's not like that. To use the right words at the right time in a right way to have the desired effect is, it's a function of the intelligence. And what is the function of the mind then in a relationship? When you are speaking the right words, what if you don't mean them? I'm making the best sentences of the best words, but I don't mean them. How long will this drama last? So intelligence should be used constructively to speak the right words. Oh, is this what you mean? When a person speaks, it said the biggest illusion of communication is that it has already happened. Many times, the transmission and the reception are two different things. So we speak something and मैं तो बता दिया ना आपको. But what you spoke is clear in your mind. What the other person receives is something else. Well, how many of you know that communication, let's say 100%. So how much of what aspect of communication gets transmitted? This is statistic. 7% is your words. 38% is your facial features and the voice. And 55% is your body language. These are proven statistics. When we are supposed to give a speech, we probably would prepare the words 2000 times. Right words at the right time, pause, full stop, whatnot. Right? Do we really understand the science of communication? Because people just hear 7% of what you are speaking, but they are catching 55% of your body language. They are catching 38% of your facial features, and if you raise your voice on a certain point and you lower your voice and the intonation of the voice, that is also what gets carried across. So many of us have failed in our relationships or struggling in our relationships not because we are not using the right words, because we many times don't convey them properly, and sometimes we don't even mean them properly. It's just बोलना है इसलिए बोल दिया. Yeah. So speed in relationships is not really going to help us. Speed may be good in bullet trains, speed may be good in courier service, speed may be good in computing, internet, 5G. Yeah. But when it comes to human beings, please be aware, if you are really doing good in your office, if you are really doing good in your profession, probably you are misunderstanding human relationships. So be very careful. In New York, they did a study in the subway where people pass by. So 7 a.m. in the morning, they put one person with a violin and he was playing the violin. So his name was Joshua Bell, and he's one of the most famous violin players of America. And when he does a show, then in a theater, one seat in a big huge theater sells for $100 each. And that Joshua Bell was requested to play a violin in the New York subway for 1 hour. And the point was, he had a hat in front of him, and if somebody comes there, then they can drop some money in that hat. So after playing for 1 hour, this person can basically earn something like $1 lakh or something per hour. After some 20-25 minutes, somebody threw one coin in that hat. The next coin came at 40 minutes. And then when 2 or 3 coins fell in that hat, then other people also started dropping coins. So at the end of that 1 hour, there was $32 in that hat. And one seat would sell for $100. So now the question is, how come people threw coins at somebody whose one seat sells for $100? But this is happening at rush hour, 7 o'clock in the morning, when people are running to catch the Virar fast. So speed, right? Fast, ye fast chahiye, wo fast chahiye. So people are running, they did not notice. This is Joshua Bell. This is the most famous violin player. Similarly, in our life also sometimes there are many good things happening in life. But because of our speed, we don't even catch them. So some signs for all of us, we heard a lot about speed and this and that. But some, if you want to catch your pulse, so some signs that you also need to work on your speed. If first, you have lost a relationship in the last 1 year due to a sudden outburst of anger, then this is for you. Second, you almost don't have time to pray to God. You almost have no time to sit and chat with friends, close friends. This is really dangerous. Hear very attentively. This is going to make you restless. If you really feel uncomfortable and stressed out when you have got free time and there's nothing to be done, the grocery is already there, the milk is already there, and you have 2 hours with you, and you become restless because of that. Kuch kaam nahi hai. That means you are affected by this. If most of your interactions with people are for getting things done, वो काम हुआ क्या, वो काम हुआ क्या, and काम अगर हो गया है, you don't even feel like talking to people. It's not about actually phoning them, checking with them, talking to them about how is life going on, is everything alright with you, haven't seen you since a long time, is everything alright with you, just having a heart to heart talk. It's all about, checklist. ये हो गया, ये हो गया, ये हो गया. Life has become just a checklist within a checklist. Last point. If you don't have free time in your life for exploring things which you like to do. Now all of us have some hobbies from our childhood. If we don't have any time for that, it means we have purposefully but unknowingly complicated our lives. So the modern disease is no time. And time is just whizzing by, life is just whizzing by. Whenever I meet people, I tell them, so how's going on? Prabhuji, samay hi nahi hai, right? And all these modern conveniences, we call them conveniences, like refrigerator is a convenience. So what would happen is, I remember, in my childhood days when there was no refrigerator, every day goes to the market, purchase the vegetables only for that day because there was no storage available, and then cook fresh. And next day again you go. Right? Now what do we do? Because shortage of time, so you get vegetable for the whole week, and then originally when refrigerators were launched, the size was 165 liters. Now nothing less than 320. Yeah, the 3-door fridge now. one and one for the vegetable. So how come 165 liter at one point of time was a luxury? Fridge hai. तो जब फ्रिज नहीं था तभी दुनिया कैसे चलती थी? One very interesting thing I learned that when there was no fridge, दूध तो बाहर ही रखते थे, वो खराब नहीं होता था दूध. And now in refrigerators also, yeah. So I'm meeting her for the first time. In case somebody doubts. So no planting. No, I'm just saying no planting. Yeah. No support. Payoffs. Yeah. So it's very interesting that जब फ्रिज नहीं था दूध खराब नहीं होता था एक दिन की सब्जी लाते थे वो बनाते थे उसको फ्रेश खाते थे and then you don't use it. Now because you have refrigerator, so what do now? You don't want to walk. You get so much stuff. You actually stuff the stuff. And in one sense, sorry to use that word, but basi sabji kha rahe. So what is fashion means to eat stale food. Some of my friends are in America, we worked in an IT company together. I ended up in the wrong place. They are still with Infosys and all this company. So they say life is so fast and people in India want to have a H1 visa, right? Life is so fast, project. This is a real life incident I'm telling you. They actually cook. Now we are talking about keeping the raw vegetables in the fridge and that itself is not good. Saying we cook this much sabji, we cook this much rice, and we have frozen chapatis. Every day in the evening from that big huge container of sabji, they take out some sabji, scoop it out. It's frozen, right? So you scoop it out, थोड़ा उसको thaw होने देते हैं, microwave में डालते हैं. For 1 week in a row, why? Because both of them are working, and they don't have time to cook. They don't have time for anything else. Can you imagine if this is advancement and if this is the dream of many people कि अमेरिका जाना है? Do they know this horror story? No, in the film they show a romantic story, right? Leaves falling and nice things happening. It's not like that. So advancement has a huge price. So no time. So she gave me this topic that, why should we practice spirituality? So my presentation today is those who don't have an alternate lifestyle. This is the only one lifestyle available. What is that? कितना फ्रिज है तुम्हारे पास? छोटा सा है, बड़ा ले लो. And what is your car? Hatchback? We want a sedan. And those who have a sedan, they want an SUV. And those who want an SUV, they want that bigger SUV that came with 8 seats, foldable seats on the side. There's no end to it. Yeah, so bigger homes, bigger cars, bigger refrigerators. Abhi TV, 14-inch TV tha, suna hai kabhi? 20 million years back, people used to have 14-inch TV. Now nothing less than 32-inch, and I don't know what, 72-inch. Sometimes I go to people's homes, oh, pura wall itna bada TV rehta hai. I later understood it's a TV. I thought it's like blackish color something. Cinema theater hai wo. Very, very tiny. And all these fancy items, they don't come cheap. They come for a big price. And what is the biggest price of all these big appliances, costly appliances? It's not money. It's the time that you need to spend in your office to earn that extra money, to earn that extra television. It's the time that you have to spend in your office to earn that extra money, to earn that extra 2 seats in your car. And once you sit in the car, 4 seats or 6 seats or 8 seats is one and the same. So many of us are caught in this endless cycle, earn more, so that we can spend more. But actually there's no much satisfaction in all that. So what is one reason to practice spirituality? One very strong reason that I'm presenting today to practice spirituality is, at least you will have an alternative available. That it's not necessary to walk on this eternal treadmill. And this treadmill never stops. Just keep running again and again. So spirituality offers you a alternative solution. That is life really meant for accumulation of unnecessary necessities? If you watch all the billboards, I was checking all the billboards, none of the billboards were about dal chawal. Check it out. What are the typical billboards about? Wine, fashion, air travel, something like that. Why would there not be any ads or billboards about dal, chawal, roti, sabji?
Basics.
How many of us actually eat lasagna every day? Not once in a month. So the basic necessities of life, they don't require an advertisement. So advertisement is basically to sell things that you don't need. By creating a feeling in your heart, if you don't have this, your life is ruined. You don't have these fancy goggles, you don't have these fancy shoes, you don't have this fancy pair of jeans, then what's the use? So just to purchase these unnecessary necessities of life, we are running on a treadmill and we don't have time to spend with our loved ones, we don't have time to spend with God, we don't have peace of mind. So where is this going to end? So why should we slow down our life? If I tell somebody, you're running on a treadmill and this is not really going to be healthy, mostly you will collapse on the treadmill and the treadmill will still not stop. So if I tell this to somebody, it hurts, right? So one reason for practicing spirituality is to find time to express gratitude to people around you. Life is so fast, there is no time to say thank you also. It's just about earning more money. It's just about getting up there more and more. Now, Srila Prabhupada, he went to Japan once because he wanted to print some books there. And there was a Dai Nippon printers there who were saying that we'll print at less money. So there was a board meeting and Prabhupada was here with some of his disciples, and the other side there were some other people seated there. And after the meeting ended, everyone got up and there was one person there. He seemed to be interested in spirituality. So he was talking with Swamiji. So Prabhupada said, what is the goal of your life? He wanted to strike a conversation. So what he did was, the 5 people who were sitting there, they had put their visiting card on the table. So when Prabhupada asked him, what is the goal of your life? You know what he did? He took that visiting card, put it here. He put this visiting card, put it here. He took this visiting card, put it here. He put this visiting card, put it here. He was Japanese, so he could not speak much of Indian. But he took out his visiting card and he put it on top. All he said was, the goal of my life is to rise to the top of my company. This is a typical example of how people are being fooled to think that possessions are going to give us satisfaction. Sorry. If that was the case, beautiful females, actresses would not jump and commit suicide. So, the emblem of success is beauty, the emblem of success is money, the emblem of success is fame, name. The sports stars and the film stars, they have it all. Incidentally, I never saw anybody commit suicide, somewhere in the slums. It's very interesting. You heard of any news report like that? It's always, people who are there, up there. People about whom so many people in society have envy. Arey, inke paas sab kuch hai, hamare paas nahi hai. That is where the rotting starts actually. You know why? Because there's so much to do, but there is less time to talk to each other. And the human heart is made in a very interesting way. It does not find satisfaction in things. See, any new device you purchase, some latest phone, latest whatever, how long is that happiness there in that device? Till the time it does not become a standard device, right? Naya, first, 16 Pro I purchased. But in office, the day somebody else purchases 16 Pro, out of fashion, khatam ho gaya. People are really working hard. People don't have time for their parents. People don't have time for friends. People don't have time for God. Why? Because they want happiness for 6 days extra. That I own a 16 Pro. Can you imagine the shallowness of our life today? So one good reason why we should slow down our life is simple. Just to have time to express gratitude to people who matter in our life. Because gratitude cannot be empty. Gratitude cannot be shallow. You can't just speak, I'm grateful to you. It just shows you're lying. But to express gratitude, there has to be some feelings to it. So it requires a lot of time to actually speak few words of gratitude. We'll talk about 3 points. One is on the level of the body, one is on the level of the intelligence, and one is on the level of the mind. What is obesity on the level of the body? I'll explain. Obesity means you eat a lot, it's getting digested also, but you're not working out. It's not being spent. The calories are not being spent, so then it is obesity. What if you're eating a lot of food and it's not even getting digested? Obesity to baad mein ki baat hai. It's getting digested. Your digestive system is healthy, but you're not spending that much calories. So accumulate ho raha hai roj. What if you're eating food and it's not getting digested properly? That's a much serious problem. That's where, the lipid profile and all, it goes for a toss. So that's the food is not even getting digested properly, right? So this is for the body. Similarly, there is obesity for the intelligence also. You know what is obesity for the intelligence? You're reading a lot, but you're not practicing it. You're reading big books. You're reading self-help books. It's fashionable again. क्या पढ़ रहे हैं आजकल? 10 ways to become successful. These fancy books that people keep reading, they just keep reading it, and it's not applied. So that's like eating food and not spending that much in activity. So then that leads to obesity of the body. Intellectual obesity is you read a lot, but without even a thought of practicing what you're reading. And just like I mentioned, worse than obesity is that food is not even getting digested properly. So what is intellectual equivalent of that? That food is not even getting digested properly. You're reading it, but you're not even understanding it. We're reading a lot of books, we are reading a lot of things, but we are not even understanding it. So it's just there, some thoughts here. And I can tell you many people, they take pride on knowing a lot. But actually they can't connect the dots. I just know 1,000 things, but at the time of crisis, you don't know how to connect the dots, you don't know how to actually use the knowledge that you have to solve the crisis at hand. So information and wisdom are 2 different things. What do we call? Today there is a flood of
Information.
We never say today is a flood of wisdom. It's very interesting. There's a flood of information today. Right? Small kids, they know much more than their parents. But do they have the wisdom along with that information what to use in what situation? So sadly, there is a lot of information that is floating around, but wisdom is conspicuous by its absence. So what we need in life is not information. What we need in life is wisdom. and that is missing in today's life. We may have ChatGPT. ChatGPT does not have wisdom. ChatGPT is a very excellent tool for information. If you tell, right now I'm stuck up in life, and if I take this decision, I fear this will be the consequences in my life. And if I don't take this decision, this will be the consequences in my life. Will ChatGPT be able to answer that question? ChatGPT, where is the softest paneer available in Malad? Where is the So that's the information. And people keep talking about, is ChatGPT going to replace humans? It's not. It's never going to replace. Why? As long as you have a robot like humans, just they keep reading. Yes, ChatGPT has a full potential to replace human beings. But if you're talking of wise people, ChatGPT can never outdo the humans. Then, on the level of the mind, there is obesity. What is mental obesity? You have a lot of emotions, but you're not even expressing it. Sometimes in India, in the name of culture, how can I express it? How can I tell my emotions to somebody? We have spent our whole lives suppressing our emotions in the heart. It's like eating a lot of food, but not allowing it to be spent. That leads to emotional obesity. And what is the sign of physical obesity? Weight increase. What is the sign of emotional obesity?
Mental stress.
Always, a hung face and wondering, my salary is good, my health is good, my career is good, I'm quite successful. But when you talk to that person, you understand there's a lot of pent up emotions inside, there's a lot of lack of expression of emotions. And worse than obesity, I mentioned, is that food is not even getting digested properly. So, on a mental level, on an emotional level, what could be the equivalent of it? You have a lot of emotions, but you don't even know why you are feeling those emotions. And what will be the result of this? Some people are completely dysfunctional in their lives. They don't know why they hate somebody. When somebody comes in, they just feel restless, they just feel uncomfortable. And if you ask them, what happened to you? So, is there any reason? Whenever I see this person's face, I just become restless. It's not a valid reason, right? It's just that there are so many people out there who have not been educated to deal with their emotions. You know why? Because to deal with your emotions, first you have to accept your emotions. And to accept your emotions, first you have to register those emotions. You have to observe yourself. There is a emotional flowchart. Emotional, not flowchart, it's called. I'll explain what it means at least. You take a piece of paper and you write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday is holiday, chhod do. Sunday likh do, chalo, 7 days. And then you write in the rows, you say, typical day starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. So 8 to 10 is one block. 10 to 12 is one block. 12 to 2 is one block. 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, roughly. So 8 to 8, 12 hours. So here's blocks and here days. Now you purchase 4 colored pens, different inks. Red is super angry. Emotional rhythm chart. There's something called an emotional rhythm. So red color, red ink is for high anger. Violet is for I just don't want to talk to anybody. I'm just upset. You can work out your own colors, but these are like typical colors. Red, orange means danger. Gussa. Violet means I'm upset. So nobody talks to me now. Green is super happy. Blue is normal. And it's very interesting if you take a piece of paper and you notice yourself. At the end of the week, you can see a rhythm there. You can see roughly around this time, I tend to become angry. And if you analyze this for a month or 2 months, it can reveal a lot about yourself. Typically, somebody could be very fresh and very approachable and very nice to talk to in the morning time. And as the day passes, as beyond 6 o'clock in the evening, beyond 7 o'clock in the evening, some of us may tend to be irritable. If we understand that this is roughly, I can see this. Red, बहुत जगह पे है, नीचे है. या फिर around 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so then we understand as soon as they don't get food on time. So then this helps you understand yourself, and then what you can do is you have to have your lunch at 1 o'clock so that you don't go into the red zone. So understanding yourself needs time. Understanding yourself needs some amount of energy to be spent there, which none of us have. Why? Because we want to have some of those fancy appliances in our home, and for that we are not able to spend time understanding ourselves. And imagine if you don't understand yourself, how are you going to live your life? How are you going to have stable relationships? It's very interesting. So, for a healthy body, two things are important. One is you have healthy food. You don't have rich food. And whatever good food you are having, you should spend it by walking, jogging, and all that, right? Similarly, for intelligence, what could be good intellectual health? Good physical health is eat good food, nutritious food, not called just good food. The people have different ideas about good food. So eat nutritious food, and you also spend it in jogging, walking, and such. This is good health. So what is good intellectual health? Anybody can volunteer. Read good books. Don't read books that are about murdering people and ransom and these kind of novels, which are basically, already there is so much negativity. It is said in London, one time they did a research, 85% of the employees in London had revenge fantasies for their boss. So many people in London had actually at one point of time in their life thought murdering their boss. Can you imagine how much dirt is there inside? So what could be good intellectual health? Good intellectual health will be you read books that are about positivity, that will teach you a few things to improve yourself, not to degrade yourself. And physical good health was two things. What were the two things? Can anybody tell me?
Eating nutritious food and doing proper
And spending it.
spending it.
Yeah. So now intellectual health, I spoke the first part is the ahar should be good. For intelligence, ahar is from good books. So we should read positive books. We should read good books that can help us. What could be the second part of good intellectual health?
Spend time with good people.
Intellectual means intelligence.
Whatever we have read, we have to pass it on in a proper way.
We try to practice it. The shram, the efforts for the body is sweating it out. What could be the shram? What could be the effort for the intelligence? What you read.
to practice.
To some extent, you you take baby steps. The good things that you're reading, don't just keep it in the safe deposit locker here. Spend it. Spend the intelligence. Spend the good thoughts, good information, good things that you read in the book. So when you read positive books and when you make even baby steps to practice what you have read, that is good intellectual health. Okay, body done, intelligence done. What could be good mental health? Same logic you apply. Good thoughts, positive thoughts. Can any one of you tell me some one or two positive thoughts? Gratitude, helping people, wanting to extend yourself beyond your comfort zone to help somebody. These are good thoughts. Can anybody tell me some negative thoughts?
Hurting someone,
Tit for tat,
tit for tat.
comparison, competition, right? So these are negative thoughts. So the ahar should be good thoughts. And what could be the second part of it? The body. What was the body second part? Spending it. What was intelligence? What was the second part? Practicing it. Very good. What for the mind? What should be the second part? Ahar to acha hai. Good thoughts, positive thoughts. What should be the second part? Think about it. Expressing it. So sometimes we don't even have good thoughts, and sometimes we go that extra mile and we have good thoughts, but we don't learn to express our good thoughts to people. So you know what is said? if Mataji mentioned gratitude, if I have gratitude for somebody and I don't express it, you know what it is compared to? It is compared to purchasing a good gift on his birthday, but did not give it to him on his birthday. And next birthday again, I remember, अरे last birthday को gift तो pack करके रखी थी इसके लिए birthday के दिन. This time again I don't give it to him. What will you call me? Somebody who went to a store, purchased a gift, packed it up, wrote his name,
Not
but
expressive.
I'm not giving it to him.
Not expressive.
Huh?
Somebody is not expressive.
Yeah, it's not right. If I purchase a gift for somebody, it's my duty to give it to him. Gratitude is such a sweet emotion and it is such an empowering emotion. But very few of us have learned to express gratitude. And why, you know? Because we don't have time. समय लगता है ना बात करने के लिए, समय लगता है gratitude. How can you just tell somebody, you know what, I'm really, really, really grateful to you. See you. If you tell somebody, I'm really grateful to you, what should be the next sentence?
Why?
It becomes so hollow. I'm grateful to you. You know, it becomes complete when you say, you have done so much for me. I still remember that day when this happened. I still remember that day when this happened. That's what makes the gratitude expression complete. Requires time. And we don't have time. And to actually come up with sincere gratitude, you'll have to speak it out. But are you speaking about the present? Are you speaking about the future? Or are you speaking about the past? Gratitude is for the future, for the present, or for the past? Past. To remember what happened in the past with all the details, it requires
Memory.
4-letter word. TIME. That's the theme of our class.
Yeah.
That, you know, we have come to a situation where we don't have time. And what is the cost of not having time? We don't have time to remember the good things that people have done to us. We don't have time to list them down. We don't have time to express to people. We don't have time to call people. And what is the effect of unexpressed gratitude to people? You know,
Distance and relationship.
no, it's suffocation inside. It's suffocation. You know, he's done good for me. I never expressed it to him. There's suffocation inside. There's so many feelings inside which are unexpressed. They're rotting here. अच्छा एक फूल था, लाया मैंने आपको देने के लिए, दिया ही नहीं आपको. वो फूल मेरे पास ही है. क्या होगा उस फूल का? Oh, you know, it gets rotten, right? It's very interesting. Good feelings, not bad feelings. Good feelings in the heart that have not been expressed decay, decompose in the heart, and they cause a lot of pain. And one day you feel bad that I didn't even express. So I'm not even talking about the negative feelings. We're talking strictly about the good feelings. So gratitude is something that requires time. And so the one reason that I'm mentioning today, why we should practice spirituality is, we should express gratitude to God for everything. We should express gratitude to our elders for teaching us good values. We should express gratitude to good friends in our life who helped us at different times. And if we don't express the gratitude to them, God forbid if something happens to them, we'll feel guilty our whole life. You know, one of my friends is a Grihastha. He lost his father recently. So it's very interesting. I was just talking to him, and then he mentioned at his home where his father would stay. Couple, they stay, and then father का एक अलग room था, बूढ़े हैं तो उनका needs अलग है, उधर रहते थे. After they burned the body, you know, he spent 2 hours in that room. And I asked him, what did you do? He said, I kept the photograph of my father and I used to thank him because I realized now he's getting old and anything can happen anytime. So he would regularly go to him in the morning and say, thank you, Papa, for all the nice things that you did for me. You educated me and this and that, right? Expressing it. But he said, you know, we had our differences of opinion. And all of us have differences of opinion with our parents. But he said, some differences of opinion were very strong. Well, he became a devotee and his father was not really into all this. So he never supported him. So certain things they would never talk. So he said, when he left, I was feeling that I should not have behaved like that. Those few moments, whenever we crossed each other, I never thanked him, I never smiled at him and like that. When the father left, he went into that room, he put that photograph in front, and he spent 2 hours. He made a list of what he wanted to say sorry for. That took 4 hours. You have to think, you have to remember, it takes time. So time is such a precious commodity. It's very interesting. Demonetized notes can be earned back, but time once gone cannot be earned back. Time is the most precious commodity, and all of us, we are saving a lot of money, but we are wasting a lot of time. Actually, we should be saving a lot of time and spending money. So he took out a lot of time to write down the things where he felt sorry, where he felt he misbehaved. Because उस समय वो सही था. But now he realizes I should not have behaved like that. And he spent 2 hours. He actually talked with that photograph. Papa, that day I think I raised my voice unnecessarily. I'm really sorry for it and like that. And I told him, how did you feel after that? He was telling me, I was so peaceful. And there was a little bit of repentance that I should have done it when that Papa was alive. But nevertheless, there is, according to Hindu understanding, the soul is still there. And the attachment is still there. It's not that the soul leaves immediately. After burning, it's not that he leaves immediately. So he's there in that room for some time. He may not even hear it. He may not even reciprocate. There's no signal from the other side that I heard. He said, I felt so good by expressing my heart. So, can you imagine if you want to express your emotions to somebody who is not alive, and it gives you such a peace of mind, and it gives you such a feeling of that you did your part. If you do it with people